Hi there. I'm Charles Word. You probably don't know who I am, and well, that's all right. I'm old now, not as young as I used to be, but I wanted to let you know. I thought we'd go back in time, say to I don't know, um, uh, I remember I was fixing to turn 3 years old when Kennedy got killed. Kennedy got shot November 22nd, 1963. And my birthday was November 23rd, 1963. I turned 3 years old the day after Kennedy was shot. That's the only famous thing in my life that I remember. All right, let's see. I don't know if I can squeeze my whole, existence into, 15 minutes. But I'll try. In 1969, the school in Cusseta, Georgia, burned. I remember. I remember because I was 9 when it burned. And we moved to, Cusseta. And that night, the school burned down. So, I started school. Now, the school that burned was the school we were supposed to be going to. But we couldn't. So, they put us in modules. That's what they done. And, hold on a minute. Come on, Snowball. They put us in modules. I'll never forget it. And I forget what grade I was in. I don't remember. But we had a teacher. Her name was Miss Goodrow. I'll never forget her. She's dead now, so I can use her name. And she used to talk like this. And she said to me, boy, if you don't sit down, I'm gonna slap you. And I walked out because ain't no teacher gonna talk to Charles Word like that. You can believe that. And I said, fuck her. That's what I said. I was in elementary school then. So what they did was they transferred the spinning mill and turned it into a school. And it used to set up on the hill. We had a playground. We had old playground equipment. And they put it up behind the school. Do you know what we used to eat for lunch? You ain't gonna believe this. We had vegetable soup and peanut butter and syrup sandwiches. Yeah, that's what we had for lunch. That's what you call a lunch. That was a lunch that you won't forget. That's for damn sure. They would cook these big, huge, boilers full of vegetable soup, homemade vegetable soup. Didn't come out of no damn can. Didn't have Campbell's on it or none of that other junk. And we would eat that. Peanut butter and syrup sandwiches. It was filling. And I remember Miss Register, she used to sell these little, what do you call it, pints of ice cream. I think she sold them for $1, I believe. I'll never forget it. I used to get seconds and thirds. And back when I went to school, we used to salute the flag. We put our hand over our heart and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Kids today don't do that. And I'll never forget, kids used to chase me home from school. The African American boys. We can't use the N-word anymore. I would, but I don't want to offend anybody. So plus, we used to, how you say, we'd get up there and we'd go to homeroom and such as that. And, you know, we'd go to school at dark and go home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I really walked to school. I didn't walk no 5 miles to school. I walked a mile to school until I got my bike that my dad gave me from his pawn shop. He had the power, and what he did was he would say he was going to take it away from me when I did something wrong and lock it up. At least that's what he thought. I'd go find the key and unlock it and take off on it. So, plus, in Cusseta there was nothing to do. Now there was Weird Land. That's what they called it, Weird Land. We used to go down there and play Star Trek. You know, we'd do the music and the voices, you know, and everything. Dun, 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 dun. You know, then we'd go, you know, and stuff. And then we'd go space, the final frontier, you know. We'd beam down, you know, and stuff and everything. And we'd go through the motions. And imagination was the key to everything. Imagination was the key. If you didn't have any imagination, well, you'd stay at home. Now, on Saturdays, when we didn't have to go to school, we'd watch cartoons. Then we'd turn around and after Soul Train went off, used to come on at 12 o'clock. This is Don Cornelius saying, peace, love, and soul. The Soul Train. And the dancing, that's the machine. Watch it get down. The Soul Train. The hippest trip in America. 60 non-stop minutes of mind-boggling soul across the tracks of your mind. Yep. And then after that, after Soul Train went off, well, there wasn't nothing to watch. So then we'd go play. I used to go over to all my friends' house, you know. I won't mention my friends' names, you know, because some of them are still alive, and I don't want any copyright laws or infringement laws or anything, you know, using people's names without permission. unless they're deceased. But Cusseta was a hell of a place. The biggest attraction in Cusseta was watching the train come through. That was the big attraction. And going to the store. There was a man who had a store. I can't say Bill Austin. Yeah, he's deceased. I can use his name. And Coleman's store. I used to walk from the house all the way up the street to Coleman's. They had candy. You could buy a bag of candy for a nickel. Try to do that shit today and see what happens. They'll laugh you out of the store. Better get your ass up out of here talking about buying candy, bag of candy for a nickel. You better find you a time machine. Yeah. And they had the free lunch program. People would get free lunch. The po kids would get free lunch, and such as that. But this is part one of reminiscing about Cusseta, Georgia, the good old days, and I'll be back.